going, baby? How you living? How you living?
I really like to take this challenge for myself, aside of just being a musician.
Yeah, she had a swishy jacket and some thing on her head.
Even it's really big for you.
Yeah, it's like the size of me.
Don't worry, I won't say anything stupid. I hope. It's just like a crazy metal band, like shooting everything up.
My advice is forget the movies and look for a good job.
My daughter is going to sleep, so I needed to say goodnight to her.
I don't want terrible things to always be happening to me and my children, you know.
I think I was more nervous when the movie was premiering and coming out, because then I realized that people actually had to see it.
Nice to escape the studio. We have the beautiful, sunny, not sunny English countryside behind us.
This country and this world can do a whole lot better.
Wow, what a presentation.
Right, like I want people to know that you didn't just show up now.
That's where the idea of the pancake came from.
But you're the only person ever who's ever asked me that question. Ever.
Oh, wow.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I'm Mark Sugiyama from Eclectic Arts, based here in Seattle, Washington, in the United States of America. And thank you so much for joining me on this Friday evening over here, the 9th of July, 2021. And as always, I have a few quick housekeeping things before I get to my interview tonight. And just letting people know that I really appreciate all of the subscribers that have subscribed to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate that. If you're watching this in real time right now and you'd like to ask a question of my guests, you can subscribe to my channel, and then almost instantly you'll be able to ask a question in the comments, which I will see. I will try to incorporate those where I can. And also, if you'd like to know what's coming up, please follow me as Eclectic Arts Media, one word, on Instagram. That's where I post everything first. And then some things migrate over to other social media platforms. Coming up next week, I do have more live streams scheduled, including a director on Thursday, a band on Wednesday. There's a couple other people that are going to be probably plopped into that schedule next week. And then the week after that, there's actually quite a few things scheduled. So again, if you want to know what's coming up, you can follow me on Instagram. If you want to know through YouTube when live streams are happening, you can hit the little notification bell. Just be aware that that will send messages to your inbox. So if you don't want those, subscribing to my channel will help me out, and also possibly put a couple of my future live streams into your recommendations and things of that nature. But anyway, I'm really glad to be doing this interview. I have telling my guests pre-show that I haven't done one in the evening in quite a while. So for what it feels kind of odd to be doing it at night, even though most of them on the Alice tour that I was a part of a year ago, all of them were at night except for a few exceptions. So it's strange how things kind of turned around, but I'm really excited about things. So let's get to it. My guest today is the amazing band from Siberia. They have a brand new album called Ritual coming out on August 6th on Napalm Records. Please welcome to the Eclectic Arts Virtual Studio, Anatoly from Nytt Land. Hi, Anatoly.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing really good, sir. How are you?
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, as we were just talking, you're having a nice morning over there, and I'm having a nice evening over here.
Yes. We already have the sun already. Very good light from windows.
Yeah, I can see it. So it's for people that are watching this now or watching this down the road. They're from where I'm at in Seattle and where Anatoly is. It's a 13-hour difference.
Yeah.
So it's probably the greatest difference I've had time-wise for any guest. Actually, I think it's the greatest one.
we live in different points of the Earth. Yes. It's. We can, I don't know, it must be very, very long travel from the half Earth, from us to you.
Yes. That would be a long plane trip.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to hear more about Nytt Land. I know you guys are really, you're getting a lot of interest, particularly that you signed with Napalm Records, and you've had music videos out. One just came out yesterday.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious, how did the deal with Napalm come about? Because you've been around for a few years now.
Yes, we already, our band, we started in 2013. Yes, it was in 2030. It was August 2030. We record our first album. It was something experimental. It was it was not first album for us, because before Nytt Land we had another band. We played with folk rock music with flutes, guitars, violins, and drums, and so it was folk rock band. And after we started experiments, and finally we in 2030 we came to band. Now you know it's Nytt Land, and no, we worked. We don't have the especially some marketing plans. We just record albums, we just making our music, we just filming video and we just living in our music. And last year, when the pandemic starts and all tours was cancelled, we're starting to. We cannot sit without job. We cannot sit without any deal. Just sitting and see TV or play on video games. So for us, it's I don't know. We cannot make it. We cannot have the long time relaxing. We came to our home studio and start to make something new. And last September, it was new album was finished. And we just sent these songs, this music, we just sent to different labels. And our good friend, it's he's right now our manager. He offered to try to send it to Napalm Records, and they will be interested to release this music, to release this, and yeah, it was cool. It's very cool. We are really glad to start working with Napalm Records, because we like it, the guys, the Napalm family. It's very cool, professional. So we don't worked on this level before it, and it's really cool for us. Really interesting. In the first, it's really very interesting because we are busy every day, and for us it's important. Well, we don't like to have a lot of free time for, and right now we are busy every day and every time. It's cool. It's just energy for us. It's busy with our music, busy with what we love. Our I don't know, our favorite deal, our favorite job. It's cool. Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's great. That I can only imagine how busy they're keeping you, because I mean they're a really well-known metal label around the world, and they've been around a long time. So it's great that you're part of their family. I'm just curious, are you a metalhead as well?
Like I can say yes. Last week we talked with one man, and he asked me about what music, and I yes, from one journalist from the United States, and he asked me about what music we prefer. I start to tell him different names. It's Dire Straits, Queen, it's Scorpions, Iron Maiden, Johnny Cash, and now it's in US we call this dead music. It's father's music. Yes, maybe. Yes, I like the old school hard rock music. I like the country music. It's one of our. I know it's one of the it's this music we hear in every day. So last night we saw the concerts of Scorpions, and it was Scorpions, and it was Sum 41 from Canada, punk rock. So you can, yes, you can understand we hear different music, and sometimes, yes, it's metal, but not so extreme genres. From extreme metal, I can hear some bands, but for me it's very important to. I like the good quality sound. I like the good quality. I don't like the very dirty sound. Some bands, it's like raw metal, something. For me, it's interesting to hear music. It sound very quality, and for me, it's interesting the music of my childhood.
Well, it sounds like we kind of have similar tastes with some of the dad rock or whatever those bands are called, because I grew up with Iron Maiden and the Scorpions and Dire Straits and and Queen. You mentioned Queen, and because I grew up from the late 70s through the 80s, so I'm a child of the 80s. So
yeah,
all of that music I definitely love and appreciate, and I like a lot of modern stuff too. But yeah, there's it takes getting used to some of it, especially if it's like recorded in a way. I'm thinking back to like some of the black metal from the 90s. It sounded like it was recorded in a garbage can, and I think it was kind of intentional that way. It's kind of like, what is this stuff? It's really hard to understand. But
yes, for me the same. For me, it's more easy to understand. I don't know. Maybe I'm very old. I'm very ancient, and for me, it's very interesting. I like it's. Some evenings I'm just put on the Johnny Cash songs and songs. It's very good for relaxing and working with interviews, or I'm working with different arts, and I just hear the Johnny Cash or Dire Straits. This music not. I don't know. It's for relaxing, for rest. I like this music.
Yeah, and I mean, and also that music stood the test of time. I mean, here we are all these years later, and it's not just you and I. There's younger generations that are still appreciating Johnny Cash for sure, and Dire Straits, and then definitely Maiden's probably one of the biggest bands in the world still, for all kinds of 10-year-olds to 80-year-old people. So, which kind of brings me to a question about with Nytt Land. There's something about the music, I think, for a lot of the fans, especially the new fans that are starting to understand or watch your videos or listen to your music, that there's so much atmosphere to it, and there's so much tradition in the sounds and the presentation of what you do. What's been your intention to get out to the world with Nytt Land Band, with your music? What do you want people to take away from your music?
Our music, it's basically on the strong traditional roots, the strong traditional musical roots, especially. It's I can name the roots of our music. It's Siberian native tribes music and Native American, especially in rhythms. I very like the rhythms of American Indians. And different, and also from different culture, I can name the and Scandinavian and some from the east and Mongolian and Altai mountains. Yes, and our music, it's like sound engineer. We worked a few weeks ago. We worked on special project, and one sound engineer called our music forest techno music. Yes, it's. I think it's more for understanding the new people. It's forest techno, okay. It's, but only a forest, because we play on the live instruments. We play not only instruments. We can play on the woods and logs, different. we can make sound from everything. And yes, forest techno. And for people, yes, it's modern music. Maybe it's a modern, but we love the sound of the ancient instruments. We love the sound of some nature things and sound of nature. And we use this sound. We use the sounds of nature. We use the sounds of our instruments. We use the sounds of instruments we made by our hands. We're making by our hands. And we use this for release our senses to the world, to share our senses to the world. And also it's based on the strong traditions. Because all lyrics in our songs, usually it's a ritual tradition text or lyrics. And we just make the text a lyric and making music as we sense it.
Okay, all right, interesting. Thank you for sharing that. I was curious about the lyrics. I didn't realize it was coming from text, and then you chain those into lyrics to put into your songs. And that brings me to another question about how do you typically write your music? What comes first? Because the process is different for every musician. Do you come up with...
Yeah, I understand. Yes, I know, because for me, early, but sometimes I'm starting to play an instrument and music just board. But usually we can use it for new songs, some parts of some ideas. The verse in my improvisation, we can use it in the future. But usually we started working from the texts. So we starting to discover texts. We find the ideas in these texts. Usually it's a tradition with different epic or ritual texts of, it can be Scandinavian, it can be Siberian, it can be from different cultures. We just, but mainly it's Siberian and Scandinavian. We are taking the text and starting to how you feel, how you can imagine how it must sound, how you want to show this meaning. You must to explain to the people what meaning, and you start because we're working with the ancient languages, and I understand not so many people can understand the Old Norse or Old Norse language or Khanty language or Mansi languages, and it's a language. It's ancient languages. It's old language, so it's languages of small groups of people. And with our music, we explain these texts, these lyrics to the people. And text and lyrics in our songs, it's just a part of music. And feelings and experience of these texts lie in the music, in our music. So you can hear a new song. Yes, 2 days yesterday, yes, tomorrow, a new song was released, and explaining of meaning of this song, of lyrics, of text of this song, explaining in the music. So for us, the first we taking the text, and we make starting to make rhythms, starting to make melodies, starting to make ideas how we can imagine, how we sense, how we can present these texts to the people.
Okay, interesting. So that means the texts are really the foundation that you build.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. And I know Natasha's busy right now, but that she did have some information she wanted to pass along. And so I know you're going to mention to me what her background is with the different singing styles that she does.
But can you repeat, please?
Yeah, she does clean singing on some of the recordings. She's doing throat singing. She's doing and she was going to kind of, or you were going to kind of speak to her background as a vocalist. Like, is she self-taught? Is she trained?
Yes, of course. She's learning the different traditional vocal techniques. So it's Sami Yoik. It's Sami. It's tribes of northern Scandinavia, but they have their motherland. In Ice Age, they tried Sami, moving from Siberia to Scandinavia. It was in Ice Ages. At the same time, another tribes moving to the east and came to the Northern American, Native American tribes. It's their motherland. It's Western Siberia too. So, and Natasha discovered these vocal techniques, discovered these music techniques, and for she it's very important because she's it's not only just art or entertainment. So you can see how she can sing. It's cool, it's beautiful. Now, in the first, it's beliefs, it's feelings. So she understand it will be better for release her ideas, her musical ideas. They will be better to release it using the traditional vocal techniques. And in Nytt Land, Natasha singing with different traditional vocal techniques. It's Mongolian throat singing, it's Sami Yoik, and Russian folklore traditional techniques.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And it's I think it comes across in the music for anyone that listens to Nytt Land now or down the road that it's really about, for me, listening to it, everything's coming from a really organic place. It's something that you believe, it's a feeling, it's trying to pay homage to the text that you're translating and putting into your music. So anything like being, I don't know, being on an interview or anything else is secondary to doing the music the way you want to do it and putting it out there. I think that's why people are really liking and enjoying the music so much. Basically, I'm saying that people like the music. That's a long way of me saying people like the music. But I'm also curious that, so Ritual's coming out on August 6th. You put out 2 music videos. One of them just came out on Thursday over here.
Yes.
And that was for, let me change my notes here. Am I saying this right? Ugra or Ugra?
Yes, Ugra. Because yes, it will be correct in both parts. You can name the Ugra, you can name it Ugra, because Ugra, yes, I will explain. Ugra, it's ancient name of the territories we live right now. It's ancient name of territories of the modern Siberia. Because Siberia, it's a Russian word. It's in the 17th century, the Russian starting to like in the same like in Northern America when the first settlements coming from the Europe coming to the Northern American lands, starting to discover, starting to build in the towns, cities, settlement. And the same in Siberia. It was this 17th century. The people from Russian territories, from territories of Russian Empire, no, it was not not Russian Empire. Russian Empire it was already in 8th century. Yes, in 17th century it was. Yes, the people from the Russia came here and started a Russian government, Russian king, starting to discover these lands, these big lands, and this this movement to Siberia from the Russia, it's going and these days, it's because it's a very great land, and Ugra, it's a self name of these territories. The Ugra, it's a word of people who live in there before Russia, and Ugra, it's a name of it's a real name of Siberia lands, and also you can find the Finno-Ugarian language family. It's Finnish, it's Sami, and Hungary. It's because these people have the roots from Ugra, from Siberia. Yes, and this language was born here, this Finno-Ugarian language.
Okay, interesting. So that's the ancient name for the Siberian lands. It would be like if there was a different name for North America, basically, way back before everything turned into what it is now. You're teaching me a lot.
We're historians. I can speak about this a lot of time. I can talk about it. Especially on Russian, like my English, it's I don't have a lot of words, English words in my mind, but in Russia I can speak about different about history from the 24 hours.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. That's if you're speaking in your native language, that you could just go on and on and on. That makes perfect sense. I know that you've been Nytt Land's played live at festivals and concerts. And,
yes, of course.
Yeah. So, what's your approach to playing live with this music? Because that's a totally different thing than in the studio.
It's we're trying to make our live concerts not very far from our studio records. Because for us, especially important that share the similar feelings like the people can take from the hear our music and records, and for us it's very important to the people feel the same on our live shows, on our live concerts, but with more powerful energy of their live concert, with live sound, with images, with the we call in our concerts not concert, not show. We usually call it ritual, because for us it's it's a ritual. Because usually it's like a shamanic it's like shamanic ritual, it's like a shamanic rite. We're starting to play from the first beats of drums. We are moving to the trance. We are moving to the special feelings, a special something, a special mind. Our minds, it's turn to the different reality from the first beat of drums, from the first sound, and to the last notes of our concert, of our ritual, to the last beat. We live in this like not in concert, not in show. We live in this like in ritual. Our masks help with our costumes. It's like part of us. It's for me. I can explain. Every time on the stage, I'm living like something rebooting with special feelings, special energies. Feel the energies from the people, from the place around us, from the from the spirits and different other things. It's I can call it, yes, it must be something like dream. It's something shamanic ritual, yes, for us.
Yeah, okay, that makes perfect sense. It would be very extremely spiritual, and something where you almost have like an out of body experience. I think for the audience and probably for you on stage when you're playing this music, that's invoking so much history and spirits and energy from so many different places that I personally, I can't wait to eventually see you over here in the United States to experience that in person. That type of ritual would be amazing here in the US.
Yes, I think it will be. We already must have started to work with the US concerts, but it's a pandemic situation. It's changed a lot of plans, because I don't know when we are very missed for touring, or already missed for our travels, because I think you understand. It's really great. It's really cool to travel over the world. You open you just the child. You open you every day. You open something new for you, and I don't know. For me, it's very important. For me, it's very special, because in my childhood, when I was born, and my childhood was in the Soviet Union, and I read a lot of different books about travelers, about adventurers, and for me, from my childhood, it's my dream to travel over the world, to open every day, open something new, to live in jungles, to live in have travels in desert, to cross the ocean, and different. And I'm really happy we can realize it with our music, with our band, with our family. But last year, we sitting home, and we just can discover nature around our town and around our settlement we live in here in Siberia. And this pandemic situation, it's very it's not a good situation.
Yeah, it's been rough on every band, every performer that plays live. It's been rough, and luckily we're slowly starting to come out of it, and maybe by like 2022 we might see you here in the US or something, depending on where things are at. And before we wrap this up, I wanted to ask you two more questions. I was watching a video on your YouTube channel, and there was a documentary, and you're talking about you're playing a show, I think somewhere in Europe, and the promoter of the venue called you to say, hey, you left an instrument behind, and it was like a piece of birch wood.
Yes. Yes. I can show you the one of my instruments. It's just piece of tree.
Okay.
And we use the different things.
Oh, cool.
It's a nuts, and this is part of wood. Just I'm going to the forest of all. It's like and sound very cool. I like it. We make instruments from the different part of the. I will show you this. It's it's the same. It's a just root. It's a root part of the tree. Root.
Okay.
Yes, and then we make it very interesting. So it's right now it sounds like a horn. So and yes, and it was in France. It was 4 or 5 years ago. Yes, we played. And usually when we touring, I can after like concert, I can leave there something like this. I can live in our backstage in a restroom, because I can't find this every day in our everywhere in our forest, and usually we just live in this in our concert backstage. We go and travel to home, and maybe in 1 or 2 weeks the promoter sent me a message. Oh, your instrument is here. What instrument? My instrument in home. No, it's piece of birch wood. It's funny. Yes, I answer him. You can stay. For you, it's not problem for us to find another part of birch wood here.
Yeah, I love that story. When I watched it, I just started laughing about it. And I can tell you this though, I bet you there's fans that would love that piece of wood. Like if you're done with the tour or done with the show and you don't want to take that piece of wood with you, I bet you there's a fan that would love you to sign it and then they take it home with them.
Yes. I think next time we can after last concert and tour, we can make the I don't know, maybe something like I will use my translator.
No problem.
Something like lottery.
Oh yeah,
birch wood with the signing.
Yeah, I mean, fans love that kind of thing when they know it was something used on a stage by their favorite band. Oh, they love that kind of stuff.
Yes, and especially it's from Siberia. It's not from the factory. It's right. From Siberian woods.
Yeah, absolutely. It's unique to your homeland there. And the last question is something that I was just curious about. With it sounds like you and Natasha and probably your son as well. That when did you start getting interested in Star Wars?
Oh, I think it's for us Star Wars. It's really Natasha. It's a very big fan and of Star Wars. So we see the different films. We see the new animated series of Star Wars, and yes, it's cool. It's interesting story. It's for us. I don't know. It's just like reading the good, interesting books, and the same. Because I know Natasha read the books about from the Star Wars different, and I think it's interesting because every people have their hobbies, different hobbies, and for us, our hobbies it's Star Wars.
Okay, and is it true that you guys got married to the Imperial March? Is that what they played?
Yes. It was interesting. It was very it was funny because especially parents and grandfathers, they don't understand what the sound means, because here in Siberia, in Russia, the old people don't know Star Wars, and it's for them it's not something special. But our friends was it was really funny because we gave our music to the manager of our ceremony, and we asked they to put on this music, not traditional ceremonies music, but this music, and they put on, and it was the very interesting faces around the people who don't understand what happened, and we just started to move in, and this Imperial March played it. It was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, that you well, and it's your wedding, so you play what you want to play, and you love.
Yeah. Do you hear me? Oh.
Okay, I'm back.
Yes, I see.
Yeah. No, that's awesome that you had to play the Imperial March to your wedding because you love Star Wars, and it's I think that's great. So I'm gonna put that picture up again real quick, so everybody. There we go.
Yes, something look like this. Yes.
Oh well, before we wrap this up now, so you have 2 videos out. The album comes out on August 6th on Napalm. What else is coming out from the band? Is there another video coming up?
Yes. Okay. Before August 6th, so our third single will be released, and next video will be before album release. It will be a third single, third video. Yes, and you will see it. And for us, it was very interesting to make all 3 singles in different images. So our first single was in monochromic video. It was with sacrifices, and it's something dynamic and aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Our second about our Siberia, our motherland. It was it's Ugra. It's something like it's a video about family, about mother and son, about motherland. And third video will be different from the first and second. It will be different in picture, and it will be different in images, and it will be different in the ideas. And I just can say it will be video to the song Svart Raven. Third single will be to the song Svart Raven. So, but I cannot open all cards. I think it will be interesting to wait, and we'll see. I thought the single must be released in August 4, 2 days before album.
Oh. Okay, that's awesome. I love the fact that there's quite a bit of difference between, like you said, with the ritual video and then the Ugra video is very different, and now this third one's going to be different too.
Yes, it will be very different. It's not interesting to make. Yes, of course we can make the similar videos because all our videos we make ourselves. Me and Natasha, we have the special equipment for video filming and different cameras and air drones. We can make a lot of similar videos, but I think it's not interesting. I think for people, for our fans, it will be interesting to see the different stories in different images.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love the fact that you're using your creativity to interpret your songs differently in the video format, so it looks different. Instead of seeing the same thing all across the board, I'd much rather see something different. So that's really good. And I guess my last question for this round would be, what would you like people to know about Siberia? People that just they've heard the name, they don't have a clue where the country is, but they don't really know much about it. What would you like people to know in general?
So I think Siberia, it's a very special land, because usually traveling in Europe and different places, we did not meet Siberia. It's I can talk about part of Siberia where we live in. I cannot talk about eastern part of Siberia because I was there maybe 4 or 5 times in my life. But living here in Western Siberia, I can talk it's a very, very beautiful place with very, very great blue sky and very far from sky. From horizon to horizon, we don't have mountains or different hills. And here in Siberia, time it's very slow. So, and I think this is called Siberia. It's part of Asia. Because Asia is not so fast like Europe, and this is wisdom of Asia. And part of this wisdom you can find here in Siberia. You can find open people with open minds, people with very interesting stories, with very interesting lives, with people with very interesting things in their mind. And I love this place. I love this land. I love the people. I love the people living around us. I love the slow time around us. It's for me. It's part of me. It's part of our family, and we don't. This is one of the interesting reason. Sometimes we have the different invitation from. Oh, maybe you will move into Moscow or St. Petersburg or another big city. We don't want to do it. We are very comfortable living here. And especially right now, we have internet, we have the air flights and trains, and we can travel, we can discover the world, we can share our creativity, we can share our music and feelings with the world, with no borders. But we want to live in here. We want to stay and spend our life here in Siberia, in these great plains.
Okay, well, no, it sounds wonderful, and thank you for sharing that. And Anatoly, thank you so much for taking the time to, today, tomorrow for me.
Yes, tomorrow for you, and yes,
yeah.
Yes, it's very cool for me to talk with the man from yesterday.
Yes, thank you so much. I really wish you all the success with the album on August 6th. And hey, once the album comes out, maybe we'll come back and we'll do part 2, another interview once the album comes out in August.
Yeah, it's no problem. Yeah, I think we can make it. I really love to talk with the people, especially from the different. For me, it's like the little travel. So today we have traveled to Seattle. It's cool.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. I got to travel to Siberia, so this has been really good for me as well. So thank you so much. Have a great Saturday.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, and hopefully I'll get a chance to see you sooner than later.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.